Once upon a time, there lived a young man whose mind was like a restless bird, constantly flying between the branches of past regrets and future worries. Day and night, his thoughts tormented him. He could not eat peacefully, sleep soundly, or even sit quietly for a moment. His heart was heavy with sorrow over mistakes he had made, and his chest was tight with anxiety about what tomorrow might bring. One day, unable to bear his suffering any longer, he decided to seek help from a wise Sadhu who lived in an ancient temple on top of a hill. This Sadhu was known throughout the land for his kind nature and wisdom. He often offers spiritual guidance to visitors and help for those who struggle in their life. Many people had found peace through his guidance. The next morning, he began his journey up the hill. The path was long and winding, but his desperation pushed him forward. When he finally reached the temple, he found the Sadhu sitting peacefully under a large tree, his eyes closed in meditation. The young man approached and fell at his feet and said, "Oh, wise one, please help me. My mind gives me no rest. I am haunted by my past and terrified of my future. I have tried everything, prayers, meditation, distractions, but nothing works. I have not known a moment of peace in years. Please show me the way to peace." The Sadhu opened his eyes and looked at the young man with kindness. He could see the deep suffering in his face. After a moment of silence, the Sadhu stood up and went inside the temple. He returned with a small clay lamp with a single flame burning steadily. "My son," the Sadhu said gently, "I will help you, but first you must complete a simple task." The young man eagerly asked, "What task, Guruji? I will do anything to find peace." The Sadhu handed him the lamp and said, "Take this lamp down to the village at the bottom of the hill, then bring it back up here to me. But remember, the flame must not go out. If it dies even once, you must start over again." The young man was puzzled and thought this was a strange request. This seemed too simple. But he took the lamp carefully in both hands and began walking down the hill towards the village. Almost immediately, a cool breeze threatened to blow out the flame. He quickly cupped his hands around it, shielding it from the wind. He walked more slowly, watching the flame with complete attention. Then he noticed other pilgrims coming up the path. He had to step aside carefully to let them pass without disturbing the flame. They greeted him warmly, but he could not respond. His entire focus was on protecting the delicate flame. He barely noticed their faces or heard their words. As he walked, his entire world became that small flickering light. When the wind picked up, he turned his body to shield it. When children ran past him laughing, he stood still until they were gone. When birds flew overhead and monkeys chattered in the trees, he did not look up. His eyes never left the flame. As the path became steeper, his hands began to tremble from the strain of holding the candle steady. Small stones rolled under his feet, threatening to make him stumble. The sun began to set, painting the sky in brilliant oranges and purples. Birds sang their evening songs. The sweet fragrance of flowers filled the air. But the young man noticed none of this beauty. His world had shrunk to the small circle of light in his hands. Finally, he reached the village. Without stopping to rest, he immediately turned around and began the journey back up. The climb was even harder. His legs grew tired, his arms ached from holding the lamp steady, sweat dripped from his forehead, but still, his focus never wavered from that delicate flame. When at last he reached the temple, the Sadhu was waiting for him with a gentle smile. The young man, exhausted but triumphant, carefully handed back the lamp with its flame still burning bright. "Guruji, I have completed your task," he said, breathing heavily. The Sadhu nodded and asked, "Tell me, what did you see on your journey?" The young man thought for a moment and replied, "Nothing, Guruji. I saw nothing but this flame." "Did you see the beautiful sunset?" "No, Guruji." "Did you hear the birds singing or the children laughing?" "I heard them, but I did not listen. My mind was on the flame." "And tell me," the Sadhu continued, "during this journey, did you think about your past?" The young man's eyes widened in surprise. No, I didn't." "Did you worry about your future?" "No, Guruji. There was no room in my mind for anything except keeping this flame alive." The Sadhu's eyes twinkled with wisdom. "And tell me, during this time when your mind was completely focused on protecting the flame, were you at peace?" The young man's eyes widened with sudden understanding. Yes, Guruji. For the first time in years, my mind was completely quiet. There was no room for regret or worry. There was only the flame." The Sadhu smiled and placed his hand on the young man's shoulder. "My son, you have discovered the secret of peace. Just as you protected this lamp's flame by giving it your complete attention, you can protect your inner peace by keeping your mind focused on the present moment." He continued, "When your mind was fully absorbed in protecting the flame, there was no space for regrets or anxieties. The past could not touch you. The future could not frighten you. You were completely here, completely now." The young man's eyes filled with tears of understanding. "So, peace is not something I need to search for outside?" "No, my child," the Sadhu replied. "Peace is not found by running away from life or by trying to stop your thoughts. Peace comes when you learn to live like you walked with that lamp, fully present, fully aware, fully focused on what is right in front of you. When you eat, just eat. When you walk, just walk. When you breathe, just breathe. Give your complete attention to this moment, and you will find that this moment is always peaceful." He bowed deeply to the Sadhu and said, "Thank you, Guruji. You have given me the greatest gift, peace." For the first time in years, he felt a deep calm in his heart. He understood now that his restless thoughts had power over him only when he gave them his attention. But when his mind was anchored in the present, like it was anchored to that flame, there was no room for mental storms. He returned home as a changed man. Whenever his mind began to drift toward old regrets or future fears, he remembered the lamp's flame. He would then gently bring his attention back to whatever he was doing in that moment, feeling his breath, noticing his footsteps, listening to the sounds around him. Day by day, moment by moment, he learned to guard his mental focus just as carefully as he had guarded that flame. And in doing so, he discovered that peace was not a distant goal to achieve, but a natural state that arose whenever he truly lived in the present. In our lives, we often believe that peace will come when our problems are solved, when we have more money, when relationships improve, or when circumstances change. But true peace is not dependent on external conditions. Like the young man protecting the candle's flame, when we learn to focus our complete attention on the present moment, we discover that peace is always available to us right here, right now. The past exists only in memory, the future only in imagination, but this moment is real, and this moment is where life happens. When we learn to live fully in the present, we find the peace we have been searching for was within us all along. Remember, anxiety lives in the future. Depression lives in the past. But life only lives in this moment. And this moment, when you truly meet it with your full attention, is always manageable, always peaceful, always enough. So, if you truly seek peace in your life, then stop living in the past and worrying about the future. The real happiness lies in the present moment, because the present moment is the only time in your hands to drive as you want. If this story touched your heart and opened your eyes to the power of living in the present, please like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear this message today. Someone in your life might be struggling with the same restless mind, and your share could be the lamp that guides them to peace. Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to join us on more journeys of wisdom and transformation. I'll be back with another powerful story that might just change the way you see life. Until then, enjoy this moment of your life. Stay present, stay peaceful, and keep growing.